Yo, what's up? Happy Monday to everyone. Toast is joining us in a second. I'm just waiting for him to join. Hope everyone had a good weekend. I had a good weekend fun-wise at back-to-back barbecues on Saturday and Sunday. Betting-wise, my weekend was not good at all. I was having a great July, too, and I just had a terrible weekend. Well, let me see if Toast... Here he is. Toast made it. All right, let's get him in here. 1 second. All right, Toast is in. So let's get started. Let's run it.
Welcome to the source.
Dude, I feel like the St. Louis Cardinals organization owes me about $700.
Hey, get the source.
All right. So like I said, I had a good weekend fun-wise, betting-wise, not a good weekend. Specifically, the Cardinals and D-backs. I bet a lot. I bet them heavy as shit on Saturday and Sunday. And as you probably already know, they took a bath in both those days. Tough. I lost a lot of money. I'm not as broken up about it, though, as I was about the cold streak in June because I was playing with mostly winnings. I've been having a good July. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed your weekend. Let's get started. We got
just really one thing. Leave me alone about Seattle. And we're done.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get to that game. I'm actually betting Seattle. Spoilers. But let's go ahead and get started. This game's obviously already finished, I think. Giants and Tigers.
It is finished, but I posted about this yesterday, and I do mean it. This spot for the Tigers going forward, you're not going to see it very often, but I would look for it. Anytime they play early at home, it seems they got to Gallen, they got to Musgrove, they won today. That's 3 times in a row. They've done really well in this spot. So just something to be looking forward to when it comes up in the future.
Yeah, I remember that Gallen game. They lit Zach Gallen up. But all right, let's move on to the next one. Baltimore at Philly. Let's run a poll. Couple weird last-minute lineup changes in this one, as Toast was just sharing. If you're in the VIP chat, Toast was just sharing that with us. So there's no Rushman for Baltimore. There's no Bohm.
No Bohm, no Real Muto.
Real Muto, yep. Okay, so both lineups missing key pieces there. For me, I think the best direction to take your bet in this one, I'm going Baltimore first 5 in the money line at plus 110. Baltimore first 5 money line plus 110. All right. So, 1 second. Should have my notes open and ready. But the reasoning for this one, this is not a bet on Dean Kramer. I should start by saying that. Hold on 1 sec. Oh, here we go. Sorry about that. Had to get my stuff open. But yeah, this is definitely not a bet on Dean Kramer. On the road in Philly is not like a spot that I'm dying to bet. But the truth is, the Baltimore Orioles are starting to look like the Baltimore Orioles of last year, the way they're hitting left-handed pitching. Since July 1st, they're actually first in Major League Baseball in WRC plus against lefties, third in OPS. So this Orioles lineup has absolutely caught fire against lefties. The last few lefty starters to pitch against Baltimore, they rocked Shane McClanahan. They rocked Julio Urias, 8 runs off him. Stephen O'Kurt only pitched a third of an inning. They still scored 3 runs on him. And before that, Braxton Garrett in Miami, they scored 4 runs on him in 4 innings. So they've been absolutely torching lefties. Christopher Sanchez has been pretty good for the Phillies, and I like him. If you've watched the show, you've heard me speak positively about Christopher Sanchez. I just hate the spot for him, the way Baltimore's hitting lefties. I think they're going to crush him. And then, like I said, I don't have a ton of faith in Dean Kramer. But look specifically, Toast, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Look at these. Look right here. The last 4 righty starters to pitch against the Phillies. Corbin Burns, 8 innings, no runs. Gavin Williams, 4 innings, 1 run. Tanner Bybee, 7 innings, no runs. Xavier Curry, 3 innings, 1 run. So the last 4 righty starters to pitch against the Phillies all pitched pretty well. I mean, Xavier Curry only went 3 innings, but you get the point. The Phillies seem to be cooling down, looking more like the Phillies of early June against right-handed pitching. So I just think in the first 5, Baltimore's the way to go. And the reason I'm not playing Baltimore in the full game is no Cano, no Batista. And Tosa's probably about to talk to you about the Orioles bullpen.
Yeah, I will definitely be talking about the Orioles bullpen. So I'm on the Phillies money line. Don't love their lineup, but I'm not going to change my bet because of that. First and foremost, I do think this is a possible letdown spot for the Baltimore Orioles after that huge series in Tampa Bay where they looked fantastic. I bet them every single day of that series. It was fantastic, but it was a big divisional series for them. This could be a definite flat spot coming and play a National League team. Like Sauce said, no Cano, no Batista, and Baumann went a lot yesterday, and then Fuganami not only got traded, but he's worked 2 of the last 3 days. So there's definitely some questions about who's going to be going in that Baltimore bullpen. Not questions, but not the main guys that you want. You're going to see Colombo and Baker get the high leverage situations. But one thing on top of that going forward with this Baltimore bullpen, Cano and Batista, this is kind of like getting to the spot where their arms might start getting a little weaker. They're not available today, so it doesn't refer to today. But if you read like the guys that are following them close in the metrics and stuff, a lot of their arm angles and arm slotting is going farther down, which tells them that there's fatigue. So that's just something to watch going forward. It's not like a fade the Baltimore bullpen thing. It's just something that you need to, if you're watching and betting baseball daily, to keep an eye on. Yeah, the Phillies, I think that it was very nice for them to get all those runs in the 10th inning last night. I don't like the fact that they're coming home from a road trip, but again, I'll take the Phillies here with a little bit of a bullpen advantage. Like I said, I just don't love the spot for Baltimore, but yeah, I think that Adley's the cog in the Baltimore machine. I mean, Gunner's starting to take that title away from him, but with no Adley, it makes me a little bit more better with no Real Muto and Bowman there. So I'll take my chances with the Phillies.
Yeah, and I feel what you just said about the Baltimore bullpen, I feel like you could also use that same logic and the same discussion as far as the Cincinnati bullpen, too, because those guys, Sims and Diaz, like, every single time I look at that bullpen, they're taxed. Every single time. So they are using the shit out of those arms, and that takes a toll over the course of a season. Toast, are you using this mic here?
Yeah.
Could you turn the volume down? I think you're peaking a little bit. It's right here at the bottom of it. There we go. Test it now.
Tested.
I think that's better. All right, so let's move on. Oh, let's see how our poll did, actually. Looks like, wow, our community is heavy on Baltimore here. 63% on the Orioles, 26% Phillies, 8% over, 2% under. So our community heavy on the O's in this one. So let's go ahead and move on to the next game. Rockies at Nats. And I will start a poll.
Ugh.
I know. Rockies, Nationals, over, under, cast your votes. See where the community is sitting on that one. So this is a hard pass for me. But I do have some thoughts. One sec. Pass. So I would love to take the Nats. Obviously, the Nationals, I wouldn't say obviously, but I think most people understand that the Nationals are probably the better team right now. They certainly in the last month. But check this out. The last 3 lefty starters to pitch against the Rockies, right? The Rockies have weirdly seen 3 lefty starters in the last 10 days, and they crushed 2 of them. They scored 4 runs on Carlos Rodon in just 5 innings. They also scored 6 runs on Braxton Garrett in Miami in just 3 innings. So 2 of the last 3 lefties to pitch against the Rockies have gotten smacked. And, the one against Braxton Garrett in Miami, that was like 3 nights ago. So we're talking recently. So as much as I'd love to back my guy Patrick Corbin at home where he's much better against a Rockies lineup that has terrible numbers against lefties on the year. They're one of the worst. Rockies are one of the worst lineups in baseball against lefties on the season. But I'm a little concerned because they smacked 2 of the last 3 lefties they've seen bad, and they were good ones. Braxton Garrett's been great. They crushed him. So I don't really know if I could trust Patrick Corbin enough to bet. And then on the other side, then I went to maybe I'm trying to take a shot with Colorado here, but the way the Nats bats are hitting and the Rockies pretty much backing out a bullpen day here, there's just no way in hell I could get there. And then I was like, okay, how about an over? 88% of the tickets and 98% of the money's on the over. So everyone's betting the over in this game. So, I have no problem making a public play, but when it's the most public play on the board, I'm most likely going to pass. So this is overall pass for me.
Yeah, if I had to make a play, look, the Rockies have been terrible, but now that they're starting to get those guys like CJ Cron and Randall Grichuk starting to hit lefties a lot better, I'm not sure. I think Chris Bryant hits lefties all right. But anyway, a lot of those guys that are coming back now, I'm pretty sure over the last 30 days, the Rockies are at least top 10, maybe top 5 hard hit rate versus left-handed pitching. I'm pretty sure I read that in the last couple of days. They've been, like you said, they've hit the last couple ones hard. So I don't really have a play in this one. I would lean Rockies first 5, or Rockies team total over, or Rockies first 5
Holy
team total
shit.
over.
They're first.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't want to say first because I thought it was a little bit of an
first.
exaggeration.
45.3 hard hit percentage against left-handed pitching in the last 30 days. They are first.
Yeah, I knew it was good. I just didn't want to exaggerate and then look like a fool. So, yeah, that's how I would definitely look at it for me. Rockies' first 5 team total over 2.5 is plus 130. Yeah, put me down for a half a unit at that. 2.5.
I kind of like that, to be honest.
I'll take my chances there.
And I mean, I love Patrick Corbin, but if the spot is bad, I don't know. I feel like this might be such a perfect time. And if
I was just gonna say the Rockies could lay an egg too. I mean, that's the only thing that's hard about this team is that it's kind of a coin flip.
Right, and especially because not only are they starting to hit lefties a little bit, but it's also this is a lineup that was really good against lefties last year, so it's like believable. Like I'm more willing to buy it. Right. Okay, so let's see what the community. 59% Nationals, 25%, 24% Rockies, 12% over, 3% under on the poll. So community feeling Washington, but I would imagine if there was a pass option in that poll, a lot of people would have been clicking the pass there. Let's move on to the next game. Royals at Cleveland. Let's run a poll here.
And that's actually somebody in the comments, Jake V, said the Rockies are facing back-to-back lefties. That's actually another good thing towards that team total. So we saw a lefty another day in a row. So that's a good comment.
They've seen 3 lefties in their last 10 days, and they've seen 2 lefties in their last, 72 hours. So, they are fresh in their brains, and they're crushing them. So, yeah, I still don't want to fade the Nats bats, though, against the Rockies.
I know, that's the hard part.
Yeah. All right.
The bat with Jake Bird as your starting pitcher on the bump is really hard to get there.
Yeah. So I'm taking a shot on this one. It's just a half unit, but I took the Kansas City money line at plus 170. First of all, before I even get into anything, keep in mind that these two, I'm going to call them division rivals, whatever. They're in the same division, and the last 2 series between these two was weirdly close. For some reason, Cleveland they blew them out in the one game. But as a whole, if you look at the last 2 series between these teams, the Royals played them tough several times. That being said, let's pull up the stuff here. So, first of all, let's look Cleveland's bullpen. The entire thing was used yesterday. You know what? I actually want to pull. Nah, it's too late to pull it up. But
yeah, pull that up because it's not. They weren't just used. They were
right.
Used
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up.
Ability.
Yeah, this one's worth me pulling up. 1 second. So not only has Cleveland's bullpen been struggling, as we all know, we've been talking about that. But look at what this. Here we go. Right here. That was easy.
And keep in mind, guys, anything over 15 is a lot. Anything over 15 is a lot.
So this is Cleveland's bullpen. That first column right there, that's yesterday. Look at all those arms they used yesterday. 42 pitches, 24 pitches, 22 pitches. This bullpen is in trouble. Now, they will have Class A. Class A had the day off, so he'll be available. But Stephan has thrown 20 pitches 2 of the last 3. Eli Morgan, that guy Sandlin. Sam Henches is going to be available, but he threw 22 yesterday. The point is, okay, so even if you have Class A, how long deep into this game are you expecting Logan Allen to pitch? Because keep in mind, he's only making his second start in the last month. He just pitched against the Royals on June 24th, might have been June 28th, but he just pitched against the Royals at the end of June. He only made it 3 2/3 innings into that game, and he had 98 pitches. So this Royals lineup did a really good job of working the pitch count and getting him out of the game early. And if that happens in this one, Cleveland's going to be in trouble with that bullpen. Also, keep in mind, the last few lefties, the pitch against the Royals. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be like, the Royals are crushing lefties, but the last 3, they've seen 3 lefties in the month of July. They absolutely crushed Julio Urias. 5 earned runs in just 3 innings. They scored 7 earned runs on 4 innings on Tariq Skubal. And then the last one was Eduardo Rodriguez, and he actually pitched great against them. But still, 2 out of the 3 lefties the Royals have seen, they crushed them. The Royals in the month of July are 11th in WRC plus against lefties. I'm nervous about Logan Allen in this spot, honestly. And then on the other side, we have Ryan Yarbrough pitching for the Royals. a lefty, and that's where you can get Cleveland. That's where you can catch this Guardians lineup napping, is against left-handed pitching, because they're not nearly as good. They haven't been as good against lefties this whole season. Ryan Yarbrough just pitched against Cleveland and pitched well. So I think at plus 170, this is worth a shot.
Yeah, the only asterisk that I would put on Urias and Skubal is they were both coming back from injuries. Take that for how you want it, but I would say just make that a point to be said. I'm on the Royals team total over 3.5. I talked to Sauce on the phone. He said he was on the Royals. It made me take another hard look at this game. It was lower on my list, but Royals look pretty good in Yankee Stadium. They hit this number in 2 of the 3 games there. Like Sauce said, that Cleveland bullpen's completely worked. None of them are fresh, and then the cookie on top, I'm looking over at Ballpark Pal. Ballpark Pal has them at 4.29 or 4.9 runs. So with nice weather. So at 3.5 at essentially even money, I'll take my chances with the Royals.
This is going to be one of those games where I'm going to put it on one of my main TVs, and I'm going to be watching. This is a good trick, by the way. Well, not really a trick. This is probably common sense to a lot of you. But I'm going to be watching Logan Allen's pitch count. And if it's the second inning, even if it's 1-0 Cleveland, if he's getting close to 40 pitches, I might live bet the Royals just because I know Cleveland's going to be in trouble if Logan Allen can't go at least 5. I mean, I would say they need him to go 6 or 7. But if he can't go for further than 5, they might be in a situation. So something to keep an eye on. Like I said, it's only a half-unit bet. I didn't want what I just said to sell you into betting $500 on this. It's a half-unit bet for me, but I think it's worth a shot. So let's see how our poll did. And 59%, it looks like, is on Cleveland, 25% Kansas City, 7% over, 7% under. So let's move on to the next one. Seattle, the Seattle goddamn Mariners. All right, let's.
I have to laugh just a little bit.
Dude, me and Prop Beaver were literally just talking about this 15 minutes ago. I hate the MLB scheduling sometimes. Castillo versus Maeda again, and then we got another Corbin Burns versus the Reds. It's like we're handicapping the same games every week. These two teams just played, but whatever. You want to go first on this one?
Sure. I'm on Seattle. I really like Seattle here. I like the spot that they're in. First and foremost, that Twins bullpen, pretty taxed. Duran, Jax, Pagan, all have went 2 of the last 3 days. Ortega threw 36 pitches last night. That's their top 4 arms. And then if you take a look at Seattle on the other side with the Seattle bullpen, really fresh. Sewald has went 3 of the last 4, so I don't even know if he's going to be available. But he only pitched 11 pitches, and then he had the day off before that. So maybe, but Munoz, Topia, Bash, all those guys ready to roll. They got that new kid. I can't think of his name, Bendino or whatever. He looked decent as well. And then on top of that, the Twins, no Buxton in the lineup today. He had a baby, so he won't be there. I know how well the Twins looked in Seattle, but the world seems to be thinking the Twins are the play here today. I really think that the Mariners start this road trip off hot. They're one of the teams that I thought that could make a run. I don't love Castillo. He hasn't really been the guy that we all thought he would be, but at the same time, I'm not really there with Maeda yet either. I know a lot of people that I respect are high on Maeda and think that he can pitch well. I think this can be a 1-1, 2-2 ball game heading into extra innings, so I'll take my chances with, I think, the better bullpen in Seattle.
Yeah, I hate it, but I agree with you. I'm on Seattle, too. I get why people are betting.
That must hurt.
It does. I completely get why people are betting the Twins here. That lineup seems to have come alive, but Toast probably mentioned, because he was the one that told me, no Buxton in the lineup tonight for the Twins. And did you talk about the Twins bullpen?
Yeah, but you can double hit on it.
The Twins bullpen, no Duran, no Griffin Jax, so they're going to be without their 2 best arms. Even that guy Pagan, who's their 3rd best arm, he's pitched 2 of the last 3 nights. So I think he'll be available if they need him, but they probably would rather not use him also. I could see the Twins just punting on this game and looking at the next game of the series. If it gets, even if it's like a 4-run lead, I don't even think they're going to use their main guys. So Twins bullpen's a mess, and we're just looking straight up Maeda versus Castillo. With the Mariners having the bullpen edge, I'll take Seattle at pretty much a pick'em price. The poll is working. Sorry about that before. For whatever reason, I couldn't get the poll going, but it did go. So we got 46% on Seattle. Hold on. I don't know what's going on. The poll's being laggy. But it looked like 46% on Seattle, 38% on Minnesota. That's what it looked like it finished at. All right, let's move on to the next one. Reds at Brewers. And this is another one. It's like Graham Ashcraft again versus the Brewers. Colin Ray again versus the Reds. How many times are we going to handicap the same matchup, man? Definitely not crazy about that. But hold on, let me get a poll going for this one. This game's in Milwaukee. Reds, Brewers, over, under. Poll is running. Cast your votes. I think me and Toast are going to be on. Well, actually, no, never mind. Toast, I backed off the Reds. After I talked to you, I looked and I was going to bet the Reds, but I ended up just going over 9 or pass in this one. This didn't make the ticket.
Yeah, you can copy and paste that for me too.
Okay, so both over or pass for both of us. I would love to bet the Reds, but it's the same story. Almost every Reds game's the bullpen's taxed. Graham Ashcraft has looked great. In his last 3 starts, he's made 3 in July. He's got an ERA and an even 2, but his FIP and expected numbers are up closer to 5, indicating that he's had some good luck. This is the 3rd time the Brewers lineup has seen Graham Ashcraft this season, and the first 2 were both in Cincinnati. So this is the first time the Brewers lineup's getting a crack at Graham Ashcraft in their home ballpark. I know the Brewers lineup don't have the best looking numbers against right-handed pitching, but seeing Ashcraft the 3rd time, dude's due for regression. I think the Brew Crew is going to get at least 2 or 3 runs off this guy. And then add on the fact that the Reds bullpen is used up. I think we can count on the Brewers to score runs. And then on the other side, Colin Ray. I mean, do I even need to sell you on why the Reds will hit him up? The Reds have seen Colin Ray twice already. They hit him up twice already. So why would that stop now? So yeah, obviously everyone's going to be on the over here, over or pass.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am too. Like you said it, I would love to play Milwaukee here. It's over or pass for me as well. I would love to play Milwaukee here with the bullpen trouble with the Reds. But as you've seen, like when this Red teams get going, it really doesn't seem to matter what happens. We saw it all 3 games this weekend. A lot of people were trying to get the Snakes in that last game, and somehow, some way, they are non-existent again, and the Reds somehow win another Weaver start. The Reds, I really wanted to get to Milwaukee. I really did. The Reds do struggle against the cutter. My buddy Jake was talking to me about that because he's really into pitch mixes and stuff like that.
What do you use for that? Is that Baseball Savant for pitch mix?
Yeah. A lot of the Reds really struggle with cutters. Obviously that's what Ray does, but obviously they've hit him up multiple times. And then just really quick, again, these teams have played 4 times in the last 2 weeks or whatever. 12 total runs scored as a combined in all those games. These teams were not scoring runs in Cincinnati. That's just weird. It just seems too easy with both teams seeing the starter for the 3rd time. The Reds bullpen's taxed. I don't know. It just seems too easy. I just want to see what happens here.
Someone wants to know about Jake Fraley. Are you betting your shit?
Oh, you already know. You already know.
And someone else said, "What the hell? I thought this was a Reds program." Well, let's see how the poll.
Be realistic. Like I'm not. Trust me. Like I would love to come on here and say it's the Reds, but I can't.
Well, it still is a Reds program according to the community. Our viewers, 51% Cincinnati, 30% Milwaukee, 9% over, 8% under. So let's move on to the next game.
Jake Fraley prop should be at 120, just so everybody knows.
Minus 120?
Yeah.
Has it gotten cold, or is it still hitting?
Oh, you didn't see his 2 home runs this weekend?
No,
it just keeps on hitting, baby.
I meant the bet as a whole.
Oh, just golden goose. Him and Hassan Kim, just golden gooses.
I love HS Kim. All right, so Rangers at Houston. Poll is running. Cast your votes. No doubt I'm on Houston here.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, this one. Now, when I say this one was easy for me, I don't mean that as like this is a no-brainer. It's going to hit. I just meant it was easy for me to make my decision. As Toast has said, he deserves some credit because he called this shit when it first happened. He called out John Gray's blister like a month ago and was like, dude, he hasn't been the same since the blister, and it was 1 start. And that's ranked to be true because ever since then, he hasn't been the same. In his last 5 starts, he's got a 157 whip, a FIP over 5. John Gray truly hasn't been pitching well. Now, am I willing to sit here and be like, Toast is right, it's the blister? I don't know if he had a fucking blister. I don't know if he had a blister. I will give Toast credit. Ever since he said that, John Gray started, I don't know if he jinxed it or like he spoke the blister into existence. I would like to see photographic proof of this blister. But without a doubt, John Gray's production has fallen off a bit. He just pitched against the Astros. That was back on June 30th. So about 3.5 weeks ago, and Houston got to him. 5 earned runs in 6 innings. That was in Arlington. This one's at home in Houston for the Astros. Say what you want about Brandon Bielak. Prop Beaver hates him. But dude's got great numbers at home this year. Can't take that away from him. On the season, he's got a 2.87 ERA and a 124 FIP at 124 WHIP at home. Both FIP and expected FIP under 4. He's been great at home. Now, to be fair, you can mention that he's pitched against some easier lineups in his 6 home starts, but still, can't argue with those numbers. Do I expect Bielak to shut this Rangers lineup down? No. But the Rangers have only got 9 career at-bats combined against them. Majority of the lineup's never seen Bielak. If I had to choose between John Gray against the Astros bats in Houston or Brandon Bielak against the Rangers bats in Houston, I'm taking Bielak. I think the Astros have the advantage in the first 5. And I don't trust the Rangers bullpen at all. So at home in Houston, got it at minus 102. I'm on the Stros.
Yeah, I could read your notes there. That very last line of your notes is like the main part of where I'm at. The main part. So
about coming home for the road trip.
The fact that this game is circled for the Astros.
Oh yeah,
I think yes, they're coming home. The Astros are coming home from a road trip. Don't love that spot. But besides that, I think this is the type of the game where I love to bet the Houston Astros and where I've made money betting them the last 6 years. This is where they shine. They are the kings of the AL West. They are 3 games back or 2.5 games back of the Rangers. They could easily pull within a game or even with the Rangers after this series. This is going to be the 3rd time they have seen John Gray this year. Oh, and by the way, like Sauce just said, I just keep saying it. Keep fading John Gray and you're going to make money. And ever since then, it just keeps on making us money. Bielak wasn't great, but I think he's been pitching a little bit better. And I think Sauce alluded to it as well. John Gray in his last 6 starts, 29 and 2/3 innings pitched, 5.76 ERA, 1.75 WHIP, 5.20 FIP, 5.39 Sierra. It's all bad. It's all bad, guys, tonight. They remind us who the kings of the AL West is.
Yeah, that's because if you are new to watching my YouTube channel, Toast says the same thing, is fading a team, especially in baseball and basketball, when they come home from an extended road trip is usually a good idea because they come home, first time seeing their wives, girlfriends, kids, and then if you don't have a day off, you might not be as prepared, come out a little flat, but there's no way the Astros are coming out flat for this series. This one's circled. This is the AL West right here, these 2 teams. I mean, no disrespect to the Mariners and Angels, but this is who it's going to be between. So I'm on the Astros.
Neither one of us said it, but no Seager, no Adolis Garcia for the Rangers as well. They looked fine without him yesterday, no questions, but I'm just making it known just in case anybody missed that.
And no, someone asked, Jordan Alvarez, I don't believe is back yet.
No, he is playing in AAA, though, for the Space Cowboys tonight or tomorrow.
The Space Cowboys. All right, poll. Actually, our viewership is on Texas. 45% Rangers, 39% Astros, 7% under, 7% over. So let's move on. Pirates at Padres. This is a weird-ass game. So I put Padres or pass. There's just the reason that I'm probably not going to bet this. I mean, if Toast has something he loves, I may tail. But the reason, there's just too many questionable factors here. So you got the Padres returning from a road trip. But then it's obviously they're at home with you, Darvish, and they're playing against a team with, there's some revenge factor here because the Pirates just swept them. What was that, 3-4 weeks ago? The Pirates just swept the Padres in a 3-game series. So you know they're not going to roll over. I expect them to beat the shit out of the Pirates, but at this price, I can't get there. So Padres money line in a parlay or something if you like it, but for me, it's probably a pass.
Yeah, that's a definite pass for me. The Padres are coming home from a road trip where they were in Philadelphia, Toronto, and then Detroit. I know they played the early game yesterday, but that really doesn't mean anything. That's only a couple hours. And honestly, I mean, the last couple of times that Darvish has faced the Pirates, I mean, it's not really domination. It's 6 innings, 3 runs, 5 2/3, 2 runs. I love the Padres. They're my team. I think they win this game, but I'm no close to paying minus 275 or minus 130 on the run line with them and the way that these bats have been. And on top of that, the bullpen has just been dog shit. So they got Suarez back and stuff like that. They need to sweep this series. If you wanted maybe to play the Padres to win the series or something like that, I don't know what those prices look like, but I'll probably have some hitter props. I know Ha-Seong Kim over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs will be on my ticket. I don't know what that price is yet, but yeah, that's the only way to look at this one for me.
So the poll, actually, I gave people a pass option because I figured a lot of people would be passing. No. People bet in San Diego here. 78% Padres, 12% Pirates, and 10% pass. Oh, Jake Valent's taking the Pirates. He's always in the comments. Ballsy to take.
I respect it.
I respect the backbone for it. I can't get there today, but I respect the backbone.
The reason that I couldn't get to the Pirates is the Padres, unfortunately, for the Padres have been decent coming home from road trips. They lost their first one, but they put 16 on the board against San Francisco. They 4-0 against Kansas City. They beat Cleveland 6-3. They beat Washington 13-3 coming home from a road trip. So, there's a lot to be there. But I love the Pittsburgh play. Touche.
All right. So let's move on to the next one. Cardinals at D-backs. The two teams, each of these teams owe me about $600, $700 a piece for what they did to me in the last couple days, man. Yesterday, I'm not kidding. Yesterday, with Montgomery on the mound against the Cubs, the Cardinals were one of my favorite bets of the year. I mean, I think I bet $225 on it. So, I mean, for me, that's about 1.5 units. It's not like nothing crazy, but still, I was all in on the Cardinals. And
so bad.
The Cubs bullpen was depleted. I loved it. I literally loved it. And the Cardinals just made me a little sick. But let's run some. I'm kind of curious to see what our viewers think about this one. So let's run a poll. Cardinals, D-backs, over, under. Okay, poll is running. Cast your votes. For me, this one, just straight up betting the over at 9.5. It's probably a bit square. I don't care. I don't really see how this one stays under. So, in case you haven't been following Adam Wainwright's season, he's struggling a bit. So Adam Wainwright on the year has allowed 50 runs in 51 2/3 innings pitched. So he's averaging about a run an inning allowed. I don't see any reason to back this guy right now. In his last 3 starts, he's getting worse, by the way. If you're thinking, Wainwright's going to slowly come back. No, he's getting worse. In his last 3 starts, he's got an ERA at 19.13. Yes, you heard that correctly. His ERA in his last 3 starts is 19.13. His whip, 375. In his last 3 starts, this man is averaging 4 base runners an inning. I mean, this man needs to retire. This is truly an emergency at this point. But before we just blindly fade the Cardinals, we first have to take a look at Ryan Nelson making a home start because I don't know if you're familiar, this dude has been struggling at home. Yeah, we've seen some good performances out of him lately. They're all on the road. In his last 3 home starts, he's only made 3 home starts since June 1st. He's 0-3 with an 11.57 ERA in those 3 home starts. And we know how good this Cardinals lineup's been over the last month or so. I mean, all signs point to the Cardinals destroying Ryan Nelson in this one. So as much as I'd love to blindly fade Wainwright, I think the Cardinals could put up 7 on Ryan Nelson. I think that's very possible. So that's why I'm like, you know what? Fuck trying to find a side. Just give me my over because I don't see any way. I mean, could I possibly see Wainwright pitching a good game? No, I can't see it. So just give me the over and call it a day. Man,
when I looked, it seemed like everybody was betting Arizona. Doesn't look like it's too bad from those pie charts.
No, these pie charts say Mets and Boston. I don't know what prop Ever did on these.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah, I kind of like the Cardinals. I know that's kind of gross, especially after what they've shown.
You're a sick man. You're a sick man, bro.
Let's just take a look. First of all, Wainwright. I think Wainwright and Nelson let's just call that a wash with how bad Nelson's been at home, and the Cardinals bat. So let's just call that a wash. I think.
Wait, hold on. Wait, I can explain. So the reason these pie charts didn't get done is because this line just opened about an hour and a half ago, and there wasn't data in. So that's why Prop Beaver didn't do it. He didn't mess up. We'd have no data in for this one. That's why. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So I think that the bullpen advantage slightly leans the Cards. They're pretty rested after not having to use anybody the last couple of days. And then I was like, let's just see what the Arizona does coming home from like 5 multiple game road trips, because they were just on a pretty big road trip. 2-5 loss to the Dodgers, 7-5 loss, 2-7 loss, and then they have a win, and then they lost their last one that they came home and played. I can't remember who it was. I can't read my own writing, but regardless, haven't done well coming home from multiple game road trips. They are coming home from a very long road trip, 9-game road trip where they went to Toronto, Atlanta, Cincinnati, hot towns over there in the East Coast. They're going to be nice into that air conditioning in Arizona, but I'm on the Cardinals. I'm just going to say it right now. I'm on the Cardinals, and I'll take my chances. It's hard to it's hard to love it with the way that they've been playing at times, but at plus 120, I'll take my chances.
Jay Briggs is in the comments saying he's taking the D-backs in this one. What's up, Jay? Jay, I'll send you a DM after. We'll pick out a day to get you on here. Also, TWD was loving your Cardinals pick. Said Toast is a beast for taking the Cardinals. I admit, that's a ballsy bet, and I love it. With Wainwright, I couldn't personally get there. I do like it, though. All right.
I'm just hoping that if he can get just through a couple innings and get that curveball working on some of these younger hitters, I think he'll be all right. Or he'll get smacked into another Bolivian. So we'll see.
Yeah, I would like to get to the Cardinals. I just couldn't. As expected, the community poll is on Arizona. 64% Arizona, 18% over. So more people betting the over than the Cards. 15% St. Louis and just 1% on the under.
Also, these Arizona bats really streaky. 2 runs for multiple games, then they go to Atlanta and score a couple, and then their last 2 games in Cincinnati, only 3 and 2 runs.
On Luke Weaver in Great American Ballpark.
Exactly. So
Kill
it's
me.
Not like the Arizona it's not like the Arizona bats can be counted. And also, the Arizona bats are way better on the road than they are at home, and that's not even a debate. So, we'll see where we go. All
right, let's move on to the 10th and final game. And we're looking at this should be a really cool series. Toronto at I'm not the the Major League Baseball instituted a lot more interleague play. I don't know how I feel about it, but then when you see a series like this is kind of cool. Probably a series that we wouldn't normally see, which is cool. Sometimes there's a series where it's who cares? You know what I mean? I'd rather see them play their division rivals.
Just to put it in perspective, we saw this series in 2019, 2016, and 2013, and that's it. We don't get this very often.
That's what I'm saying, and it is cool. Sometimes when it's Dodgers versus Kansas City, it's who really cares about this series? But this one is cool. So we got Toronto at Dodgers. I've got the poll up, so cast your votes. I'm Dodgers all the way here.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I got it when I posted the ticket. I actually didn't post the ticket. It's right here. I'll post it right when we're done.
Slacker.
I thought I posted it, and then when we were live, I realized I didn't. Whoops. So Dodgers money line minus 115 is for me. Let me get to my stuff here. So in my opinion, the only reason that we're getting this price is the starting pitching matchup. People just looking at the starting pitching matchup and taking Toronto, and I get it. If it was Gausman, maybe that could sway me a little. But I'm not really scared of Berrios, and it's not because I think he sucks. We've seen this guy. We've seen him over years. We know that he's capable of getting lit up. His last road start was excellent. He went into Chicago, blanked the White Sox, 7 shutout innings, just 1 hit. It was awesome. Good for Berrios. Since then, he's had 2 home starts, and on paper, at a quick glance, they look okay. He only allowed 1 earned run and 2 earned runs, but he allowed 8 base runners in each. You're not going to get away with that kind of shit in Dodger Stadium. He in the one game he went 5 innings or 4 2/3 innings, allowed 4 hits and 4 walks. That's 8 base runners in just about 5 innings. Dodgers are going to turn those into runs in Dodger Stadium. And then you might look at Michael Grove, and sure, we've seen Michael Grove get lit up this season several times. But you know what? Dodgers are 5-1 in his last 6 starts. including 3-0 in his 3 July starts. By the way, he's not pitching nearly as bad recently. In July, he's made 3 starts. He's got a 3.60 ERA, 3.62 FIP, 4.15 expected FIP. He's been pretty solid, and like I said, Dodgers are 3-0 in those games. But here's the factor, and I know Toast, this is the part Toast wants to talk about, the Toronto Blue Jays bullpen. You know what? I want to pull this one up. This one deserves to be pulled up. Let's bring up the Toronto Blue Jays bullpen for everyone to see. Jays pen. Boom. So, here are the Toronto bullpen. So, the column starting from the left. The left is yesterday, obviously, and then each one goes back a day. Jordan Romano and Eric Swanson have pitched 3 of the last 4 days. So very unlikely that they're going to be available here, which means the Blue Jays may be missing their 2 best arms. Even Meza, another guy they're big on, he threw 20 pitches yesterday as well. So Blue Jays bullpen not in good shape right now. Dodgers all the way.
Yeah, no question about it for me. Dodgers, and then I'm playing Dodgers, sprinkling Dodgers -1.5 at like plus 158 or something like that. Just way too good to be true. Look, I mean, Michael Grove, let's just go through his couple starts. I know Sauce gave you the numbers. On the road at Baltimore, he went 5 innings, gave up 1 run. At home against Pittsburgh, 4 innings, a run. On the road at Colorado, he gave up 4 runs. You get a pass on that. It's Colorado. 2 bad starts, I guess, against the Yankees and White Sox, but against the Cubs, and then the 2 starts prior to that, both against the Cubs, he pitched well. So it's not like he's getting throttled. And then I kind of said this going into the Seattle series. I don't think that Toronto is playing as well as people think they are. I mean, I'm going to stand tall on that because, yes, they won a couple games against Arizona. Congratulations. Arizona didn't come to Toronto. But after that, they looked like dog crap against the Padres. They got lucky to win a game against the last game of the series. And then the exact same thing happened in Seattle. They looked like dog shit the first 2 days. They lost both games. And then on Sunday, they got lucky and they won a game 4-3. Now they got to come play the Dodgers that just got their asses kicked by the Rangers in embarrassing fashion after going up 4-0 in the first inning. And keep in mind, this Dodgers offense, let's just see if they're scoring runs. Let's just say the last 10 games. 4, 16, 11, 5, 10, 6, 1, 5, 6, and 10. Mookie bets over 1.5 total bases. It's Dodgers all the way for me.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And so a couple questions. Someone asked where I get the bullpen thing from. That particular screenshot I just showed is from Fangraphs, but you can get that information on multiple sites. Toast doesn't even use Fangraphs for that. Where do you get yours? Bullpen?
I do now.
Oh, okay.
I used to use
I like Fangraphs because it also shows you their stats. So it's not only can you see who's available, but you can also see how good they are. Because, I mean, you might know all the arms in every bullpen. I don't. So sometimes I need to see who their good arms are. And But yeah, so I use Fangraphs for that. You go on Fangraphs and you go to roster resource and click closer depth chart. So Fangraphs, roster resource, closer depth chart. That's how you get that. It updates every morning around 9 a.m. So a little frustrating when you're trying to do overnight handicapping because it's not updated yet. Just giving you a heads up on that. So why don't, before we do the community parlay, let's do the pick'em. And the pick'em is not. There we go. Play graphic. The hell? Well, the graphic's not playing. Doesn't matter. I can still bring up the pick'em. For here is today's, by the way. So, Christopher Sanchez, higher than 2.5 earned runs. I like the O's to get to him early, the way they've been hitting lefties. Logan Allen, higher than 2.5 runs. Yes, I am playing the Royals to score more than 2.5 runs because I think Cleveland's going to be forced, like we talked about, forced to keep him out there much longer than they want to. So even if he gives up a run or two, their bullpen is thin. So I think Logan Allen's going to be forced to stay into the game longer than normal. And then I'm taking Jose Barrios higher than 3 earned runs because he's pitching in Dodger Stadium and they're smoking the shit out of everybody. So that's my 3 pick. It's a 6 times payout if all 3 of those hit. If you don't have Underdog, it's available at any state that's highlighted in orange on this map. Download the app, go to the website, use the promo code BET, B-E-T, for free $100. You deposit $100, they give you $100 for free to play with. Promo code BET, B-E-T. So, let's close it up with the community parlay.
Hey, come on, it's the community parlay. What's the matter for you?
Can the community get a goddamn hit, man? The community's been so cold. We need a the community parlay needs mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. It's been deceased. Maybe this is the day for it. For those of you who don't know how it works, I'm sure everyone knows how the community parlay works by now. Vote on your. Oh, by the way, 66% Dodgers, 20% Toronto. So community agrees with us on that one. Looks like all of us collectively are on the Dodgers. All right, vote on your favorite legs, and we're building a parlay together. Dude, the voting for like a Sunday morning NFL show for the community parlay is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be like 500 votes in that thing. But all right, so did the public? No, our votes went Orioles. People picked the Orioles in our chat. Rockies, Nationals, definitely the Nationals. Royals, Guardians, definitely Guardians. Mariners, Twins. Who did our people voted Mariners on that? All right, first leg. Cast your votes. Toast, any props to read off on this smaller slate?
Yeah. Jake Fraley over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at -120. Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases at +100. Hassan Kim over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at the number -135. And then I do have a hit parlay. I just don't know what the number is. I'm going to be playing with the Reds and Brewers game. Fraley, Will Benson, Willie Adames, and Wilson Contreras. It's like +350 or whatever, but all those guys have really good numbers against the other guy. Will Benson hits, runs, and RBIs, another one I really like. I'm playing Fraley because Fraley's my guy, but Benson has really good numbers against Colin Ray himself, and he's been pretty good for the Reds lately. So +350 on the hit parlay with those four guys.
All right, and the first leg is the Baltimore Orioles by a landslide too. Baltimore money line. Oh no!
Yes,
all right,
I'm in trouble.
I mean the Orioles. If I had to pick a side, it would be Baltimore in that. But the Orioles bullpen scares me. But all right, so Reds won the poll. Rangers or Astros won the poll. They agreed with us. Pirates, Padres. I'm assuming. Cardinals, D-backs. Second leg. And to those people asking, prop beaver is fine. He's right here. He's sitting 5 feet from me. He's in football. He's in editing and football mode now. So he helps me edit the videos, and he's preparing for football season. You will see his face back on the show, giving out NFL stuff, doing his thing. All right, this one's close. So I'm going to say 5, 4, 3, 2, and poll. It's a dead tie. 10-second tiebreaker. 10-second tiebreaker between Astros money line and Padres money line. Literally 10 seconds. Go. Pick which one out of those two. They all want me to point the camera on you for proof of life.
I can hear him just faintly.
He's fine, man. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and Astros wins. So Baltimore money line, Houston money line. Let's go with some second places now. You know what I should do is I should put both of them in there. Why not? Because there's a limited slate anyway. Obviously, people like it. So we'll go with some second places, which was Nats, D-backs, Diamondbacks, Dodgers. So it's between these three for the last leg. Nationals, Diamondbacks, Dodgers. Yo, someone accused somebody of coming in and poisoning the community parlay. Someone's coming in to sabotage our community parlay. All right. Oh, this is Dodgers by a landslide. don't even have to let that one go. So we have Orioles money line. Actually, I like typing the names of the teams better. Orioles money line, Astros money line, Padres money line, Dodgers money line. Toast?
886.
886. Is this the one that's going to break the slump? Is this the community parlay that's going to break it? Orioles money line, Astros, Padres, Dodgers. Let's go. Yeah, thanks for watching. Welcome back from the weekend. Let's get back to the winning that we've done for most of July, and let's put that weekend that just passed in the rearview mirror. Yeah, everyone remember to bet responsibly. Hit either of us up on Twitter if you need us. And we'll be back 4 p.m. tomorrow. And we have, oh my God, I have a guest tomorrow, and I can't remember who. I have one, though, for tomorrow. It's a brand new guest, too.
Boys.
Yeah, he's from Gold Boys. It's one of the guys from Gold Boys coming on with me. Yes, Lord BLT from Gold Boys. Thank you. I'm so bad with names, but the guy, Lord BLT from Gold Boys, will be on with us tomorrow, 4 p.m. See you then. Let's have ourselves a good night, and hit me up on Twitter.